Hi there, it's Vladimir. Today is the 10th day of my commitment. I continue talking about what I'm doing, and now I'm gonna start with a kind of intention which I'm gonna focus on during this whole speech. So the intention is to check my body language, to check my pronunciation, and to make pauses while I'm talking. I've noticed that one of the biggest problems which I now have while recording these videos is that I feel insecure and frustrated at any time when I make a mistake or when I just continue talking and I can't make a pause. It just makes me feel anxious and irritated. I can't control my emotions, and then I started complaining. So now I decided to use a new technique, which is a kind of focus, but it's a focus. I wouldn't say anything that I don't like while recording these videos. I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm going to talk about, and I'm not going to complain about my pronunciation, but I'm going to focus on pauses. So at every minute, I need to check whether or not I'm still able to pay attention to the pauses. If I don't make a pause during 1 minute, it means that I just lost my intention. So here's the intention: to make pauses. In this video, I'm gonna start from teaching. I decided to teach you to study language, and instead of just being vulnerable and talking about all sorts of nonsense, which I not prepare before, I decided to really prepare some materials which are like, I'm not preparing them before recording the video, but I prepare them long before, and now it's just I'm going to talk about what I'm doing, and I'm going to teach you how to use your language, because I know that it's like I'm not a qualified teacher. I didn't have any license, and I don't have any diploma. I haven't had a special education for that, but I've studied language by myself, and now I can communicate with people with no effort in English. And I even run my speaking club, where there are lots of people who come every week, and we have great conversations. And it's like I invested so much time and effort into studying English, and I think I may say something interesting which may help you to develop your language. So this spring I prepared a certain course, and this course is all about studying language by studying yourself. It's not even about studying language. It's about studying yourself and using English language like a tool. So the whole idea is that you don't study irrelevant information. You don't study grammar. You don't study books. You start from your actions, and you start monitoring your actions, and then you are talking about what you're doing, and you are doing what you're talking about. It sounds quite easy, but in reality it's very hard. So now I'm going to give you like first steps which you may start working on, or it's like something that you may start doing if you don't know language, if you want to improve your English. So the whole idea, again, you have lots of actions during the day. It's like if you start calculating them, there are endless amount of actions. I'm not going to teach you what exactly should you say. I'm just give you an example about myself. So I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I'll just show you how you may do it for yourself as well. So let's suppose that I need to describe a day like yesterday. What happened yesterday? I just go back and start focusing my attention on the first things which I did yesterday. It was, and again, it's like I just may use if I don't know language. Let's suppose that I don't know English, and I don't know how to describe what I'm doing. So I just make certain actions. I just see them in my mind, and then I just translate them translate them from my native language to English. So I may say, okay, yesterday I did exercises, yesterday I wrote my journal, yesterday I studied the book about punctuation, I studied the book about arguments, I recorded this video, I uploaded this video on YouTube, I watched a couple of lectures on public speaking, I wrote a couple of articles about purpose. What else did I do? I had breakfast, dinner, lunch. I was recording a self-talk. Well, and probably like I read a few pages on Wikipedia, and it's like, yeah, I'm just giving you examples. So you may just check your daily routine. If it was just, you might say it was, I woke up, I had breakfast, I went to work, I worked, I got home, I watched a couple of TV shows, then I got in bed. That's your routine. And if it's your routine, it's exactly what you need to study. So, and when you study it, what do I mean by studying? So you just start focusing on your actions, and you translate them from it's like in English. So you just start, and you start thinking about them, and you start like, let's suppose that now you already can speak English. Your English is quite, you've studied it for a couple of years. You may express your basic thoughts, and you may say, why do I need to study that? What's the purpose? Like, why shouldn't I study grammar or just watch some videos which I like? The problem is you have to have something to talk about. And when you are talking about your actions, you actually may describe everything what's going on. And this ability to be able to describe your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, it actually helps you to get to the next level. It's like if you study English and you are able only to accomplish some exercises or speak about certain topics or answer some questions, it's not enough. You have to be able to describe what you're doing, and you have to be able to understand like your intention, your purpose, your desire, your wishes. And when you just focus on your daily routine, when you describe your daily routine, it makes you feel and feel what's like, feel the language. So if you know English well, it's like, again, the same way how I described it. I just gave you a brief example. But in reality, if I would like to talk about my routine, I'll have like an hour. And during this hour, of course, for example, there was journaling. I mentioned that I was journaling yesterday. I wrote journal. And when I think about my journal, I would say, it's like the whole, like I spent on it half an hour. And during this half an hour, I had some thoughts. And I described these thoughts. And it basically was about my personal life. I just described what happened the day before. And I tried to understand what I was doing. I tried to understand my intention. I tried to understand my motivation. I tried to understand what to do next. Yesterday I was writing, there was a kind of problem, and I decided to focus on this problem. I wanted to understand how I can solve this problem, and just basically was now I can't even tell you all details, because when I talk to myself, there are lots of details, and now I think they're unimportant. But let's suppose there's something interesting that I can tell you right now about my today's routine. So again, there was almost the same routine. I did exercises, I wrote a journal, and then I decided to prepare a little bit for this speech. And I read an article about intention. It's like a new piece of my daily routine. How much time? Oh, I have 5 minutes more. That's cool. So a new piece of my daily routine is memorizing definitions of certain notions, and intentions, like our purpose, is according to Wikipedia, it's a mental state that represents a commitment to carrying out an action or actions in the future. So when I was like today, I was preparing for this talk. I read this article about intention, and I was reading it out loud to practice my pronunciation, because yesterday I thought it was kind of like I didn't prepare for pronunciation, and I sounded very confusing. Confused. I forgot that now. I forgot the intention. My intention, which I set off before I started talking about my daily routine. The intention was just to make pauses every minute, and I guess a good way to check out this intention is just drinking water. Just every minute or every couple of minutes, I may make pauses and drink water. I guess it's gonna help me, and then when I get used to it, it's I wouldn't need water. I would just make pauses and think about it. But anyway, so going back to this article, my preparation. So I read an article aloud, practiced my pronunciation, and then I also watched a video. And I have this training. It's like I practiced it half a year ago, like even more, even a year ago. I remember the last time when I was working on this technique, and I call it technique because it's a technique. It was a year ago, and then I abandoned it, and now I think I need to return to this practice, because it makes me feel good when I just every day when I do something to improve my pronunciation, which bothers me like really a lot. So the technique is just I watch a video and I repeat after the speaker for like a short, usually it's a short video, and it's about pronunciation. Now I'm currently watching Accent Reduction with Hadar. It's a channel on YouTube, and there are lots of videos where she talks about like everything related to pronunciation, to studying language. Today I watched a video where she explained how to use different intonation while speaking, and how this intonation may just confuse a person whom you talk to. I mean, she was talking about different types of intonation. Like there's a phrase like "that's great," and there are like 4 even more ways to say this phrase. You may say it in a kind of angry way, "That's great." And you just the same phrase like "that's great." If you say it in angry way, it just delivers certain emotions. And you may say it in a friendly way, "that's great." It's like a compliment. So it's like you try to you say the same phrase, but depending on which kind of emotions you use, it conveys a totally different meaning. And you may say it in a different way, like "that's great," or you may say it in a kind of passionate and excited way, "that's great." So it's like all the time when you use your language, intonation is really important. And I was like working with this video, just watched it and was speaking after this woman and trying to repeat her. And if I just want if I just want to study language, if I want to improve my English, like I think it's one of the best technique in terms of pronunciation training. So my problems with pronunciation and intonation, I guess it's like it's more serious than I thought at the beginning. I thought that if I just do lots of techniques, study words, study pronunciation, it's going to be perfect in a couple of months. But it turned out that it took me a couple of years, and I reached the level where I am currently on. It's like a couple of years ago, and I'm still continue when I speak in a kind of improvised way when I'm not prepared, when I just have something to talk about and I don't know exactly what it's gonna be. I always make like my speech sounds like it's a 100% Russian accent, and I can do anything with that. But I made a goal to reduce it and to improve my pronunciation and speak like an American. And it bothers me because it's like I do lots of things to achieve that goal, but it still sounds like this. I know I have to be more, you know, I my time is almost gone. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about it next time. But I have to be slower. I have to focus on what I'm saying. I shouldn't rush forward all the time. But it's not. It's like I'm practicing it. I'm practicing it. But when I start talking, I see that I can't really be slow. When a thought, something that I'm trying to develop becomes really fascinated, I just forget about everything. I forget about pauses, I forget about intonation, I forget about proper pronunciation. I just want to say something which I really like to say. And it's like, I don't know how it works, but I'm going to work on it and make it better in the future. Okay, now it's all. See you next time. Bye bye.